A few months ago, I made a video saying D&D was disappearing. I got kickback from that video, primarily because it was really bad timing. You see, prior to that video going live, D&D had barely posted anything original on their YouTube channel for about 5 months. It really was just old reruns of the 80s cartoon. And looking across all their socials, it really felt like D&D at the time, compared to previous periods, had just disappeared. They just stepped away from the spotlight. And in that video, I didn't blame them. Every time they tried to get hype up around D&D or be creative or post something new, they would get hate from one side or the other. They would always get that the D&D scandal just got worse videos or the ravenous Twitter threads about how the current designers are the worst people on earth. And in that video I made, I suggested that what we may be seeing is D&D as a brand just taking a step back from the limelight a little bit and letting things blow over, just give it time. Maybe letting the dust settle is what is needed here before making any more big moves, because there's too much negative stuff out there. I've also been very open in my videos talking about how disappointed I've been with D&D in recent years, just for their marketing and online presence in general. They've just not been very good at building community and getting people hyped for products, or getting new people into the game, or dealing with public relation issues when they popped up. They just didn't have a good, transparent relationship with the community. In fact, it kind of was fumble after fumble for them, whether it was the OGL stuff, Project Sigil getting microtransactions, then being hyped up, then cancelled, TV shows getting announced, then cancelled. The TV show's been re-picked up again, but obviously it's been delayed and is going to be different now. Oh, and even the D&D movie, which many people loved, just not getting the box office earnings they were hoping for and spinning off into a sprawling cinematic universe. So a step back, a reset, a refocus, I think was what was needed. And I was hoping that is what they were doing when I made that D&D is disappearing video. Anyway, the same day I dropped that video, D&D announced Dungeon Masters, an actual play with big names in the space playing through official D&D products early. Everything I said they weren't doing. I've never had a video become outdated that fast. D&D had not disappeared. They were right there. And this was good news. What better way to advertise D&D than a show where people actually play D&D? It is high production, highly edited, and more accessible than a lot of actual plays out there due to its shorter runtime of episodes and short seasons. And it is based on a model that has seen insane success, as seen by Critical Role and Dimension 20. I mean, how had they not done this before? A dedicated group on a dedicated channel. They'd played around with actual plays before, but they'd never committed quite like this. At this point, I remember talking to another YouTuber. I don't know if they want to be mentioned here, so I'm not going to say anything, but I remember saying to them, I think I'm going to take that video about D&D disappearing down. It was outdated instantly. And they said, don't take it down, just put a disclaimer in the description, maybe a pinned comment, and now you can make a I was wrong about D&D video. Genius, I could set the record straight, I'd get started on that video straight away. After all, D&D hadn't disappeared, they came back with this D&D show, and not long after that, they also posted a roadmap of future products. They were also officially calling the new edition 5.5e. D&D seemed to be getting their ducks in a row. Every time I was going to make this video, a little bit more news came out, which kind of made that original video look even more foolish. And here we are months later, and I'm finally making this video. They just kept surprising me over and over again. So what else happened? Well, the YouTuber I was chatting with also put me in touch with D&D Official, which was incredibly kind of them. And D&D Official told me about a new creator program, one where Wizards of the Coast, D&D's publishers, would support creators, send them products, be a contact for them, and in general develop a mutually beneficial relationship. This was something I hadn't seen at all since starting my YouTube channel many moons ago. I was chatting to them, telling them about my content ideas, and they were saying, can we help with that? How can we help? Like, they were genuinely collaborating. And this creator program, well, this was a huge shift in D&D. This is my opinion, and I know there are a lot of cynics and skeptics out there, and realists out there, but this really showed me that they were taking the brand in a different direction. They were genuinely trying. Not saying they're going to make good products from now on, and I'm not saying they're not going to fumble or make mistakes. I'm not saying they are a fantastic company now and capitalism has been cured, but what I am saying is that the way they are handling their marketing and how they reach their customers is better than I've seen it since getting into this space. To be clear, they can still mess this up, but as a foundation, an official actual play, a good relationship with creators, and open communication is a great place to build from. And it feels like a very different D&D to what we had even 6 months ago. So I was excited for that. And I was most excited for the future of D&D than I think I've ever been. But even at that point, I wanted to wait just a little bit and see how it all played out before making my I was wrong about D&D video. The last one got outdated instantly, so let's just give it a minute. You know, I don't want to make a fool of myself again. Fool with a PH instead of an F, by the way, because it's a little pun. My name's Phil with a PH. So I waited a little. I tested the waters. Communication with the brand did appear to be open. They were responsive and cool. They sent me and many creators Ravenloft Horrors Within to review, or not to review if we didn't want to. I've seen other creators criticize the book with no repercussions. We're allowed to be open and honest. I love the Ravenloft book, but I never owned the previous Ravenloft books, and apparently it's mostly reused content. But for someone new to the setting like myself, it may be one of the best D&D setting books ever produced, in my opinion, at least since Explorer's Guide to Wildman. And I'm going to get into some even bigger direction shifts from D&D that I believe is going to make the whole thing unrecognizable in a good way. But first, another cool thing D&D is doing with D&D Beyond is it's partnering with Start Playing, sponsor of this video. Start Playing is perfect if you're looking for D&D groups, games, and game masters. One of the hardest things in D&D is finding people to play with, finding a GM, especially when you're starting out. Well, startplaying.com is the answer. It's easy to find and get into a game. It has thousands of games, D&D, Pathfinder, Daggerheart, whatever you're looking for, it probably has it. And you can find games that fit your schedule. You can search for diverse, inclusive, and safe spaces. You can find games to join solo or even head in with a few friends. And it's trusted by over 100,000 players. People have met on there and made real friendships there. They go to cons together. Some have got matching tattoos. People have even got married, though do not join with that as your intention. And it's great if you're looking to learn the game. It really is a fantastic site. So check out Start Playing at startplaying.com. Link as always down in the description. Okay, back to it. So D&D seems to be doing a lot right. Once again, as far as marketing and transparency goes. And as far as making me excited and happy to be a D&D fan goes. And I keep putting this disclaimer in there only because I know some people are going to come at me calling me naive, a shill, or worse things, and I'm afraid I have bad news for you. If you're someone who just hates everything modern D&D does, that's your prerogative. If you don't trust Wizards of the Coast and you want everyone to stop playing D&D, or it's broken your trust one too many times and you're never going back, this channel probably straight up is not for you. You probably won't enjoy watching my videos, and that's fine. This is an optimistic D&D channel. I'm planting the flag in the ground right here. I'll still call them out when they do something I don't like. I'll give products bad reviews if they are bad, but I'm not going to go down the doom and gloom D&D is dead route, because that's just not who I am, and it's not the content I want to make, and I'll be honest, we don't know what's going to happen. And I think a lot of the negative rhetoric I see online is in just bad faith. Now, you feeling a certain way, I don't want to dismiss that. You have every right to feel how you feel about D&D based on your past experience with it. But there are definitely people online who are stoking the fire and taking advantage of the strong feelings towards this product, this brand that means so much to a lot of people. So this is an optimistic D&D channel. It's also an honest and transparent one, apart from, a little sensationalism in the thumbnails from time to time. But if you really don't like that, let me know in the comments. YouTube certainly pushes me towards it, but I want to find the right balance between YouTube liking me and you liking me, specifically you. So get all up in those comments. And you may call me a shill. God knows I've gotten free stuff from Wizards recently to review, and the inside information they can give me can help with videos, which makes me money. But also know, and this is genuine, I would make a lot more money, like 10 times the money. Like, I would not be doing the month-to-month paycheck thing, can I survive, if I made negative content about D&D. Making overly negative content about D&D just puts money in the bank, just because of the state of the internet. But it is honestly just not how I feel about the brand. Subscribe if you like that sentiment, and feel free to unsubscribe or dislike the video if you hate that sentiment. Anyway, so this video I wanted to make about being wrong about D&D got pushed back again, because Wizards of the Coast invited me to a press release meeting thing for the Gen Con announcements, where they showed me they were taking D&D in a very different direction to what I was used to. Unless you've been under a rock, we're getting Universes Beyond in D&D, where they make content partnered with other IPs, other franchises. Now, I wasn't playing the game before 5th edition, so the World of Warcraft announcement, which they announced, was pretty exciting for me, and so was Dark Sun and Greyhawk. 3 new settings for me to play around in. Not only that, but there were a slew of other announcements. This got me very excited for Gen Con. I got working on that video. They didn't tell us about the Star Wars thing, and if Star Wars coming to D&D is new to you again, you gotta get out from under that rock. Or stay under it, don't come out. It might actually be a good strategy in the modern world. But once the announcement dropped and Star Wars hit, look, that whole keynote was cheesy. But I mean, what keynote presentation isn't? But my jaw hit the floor at the Star Wars announcement. So when I tell you I was very excited about the direction D&D was going in and its future before the announcement, now, after them, I cannot wait for the next few years to unfold. Once again, not saying the products are going to be good or that D&D won't fumble this somehow, but my mindset about the brand now compared to 6 months ago is very different. I was wrong about D&D. It hadn't disappeared. In fact, I would argue for me, it finally showed up. And this is good for all TTRPGs, by the way. A rising tide raises all boats. The World of Warcraft book is going to bring in more people to the hobby. Star Wars is going to bring more people into the hobby. Hopefully it makes Wizards of the Coast a ton of money and they don't think about making us go digital more or messing with AI or microtransactions or more subscription services, because they won't need to. And hopefully both the WoW book and the Star Wars book are good books that I can bring to my table and have a blaster with. And as more people come into the hobby, smaller third-party publishers are going to make more money as they're discovered. Other TTRPGs like Daggerheart and Draw Steel and insert your favourite here will get discovered by people who prefer those systems. And the Kickstarters for D&D and other TTRPG third-party content that we're seeing that gets hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, well, they're going to make even more money. Products in general are going to get better. The hobby is going to get better. I truly believe that. I could be wrong, but I'm choosing to look at it that way than the other way, which is doom and gloom, D&D's dead, like it is every month apparently, is still here. So for the naysayers who say WoW and Star Wars and future Universe Beyond content is going to ruin D&D because all we're going to get is bad IP collaborations and we won't see anything original or any of the official settings ever again because they're just going to be focusing on that. And the people who also think that people will be showing up to my grim dark horror campaign with SpongeBob as their character and they get upset when I say no because that's, what happened to Magic the Gathering. Look, you could be right. You could revisit this video in 5 years and call me a fool, again with a PH, but for the next few years, as of right now, we're getting 2 Universe Beyond books and like 8 official D&D IP setting books, either by Wizards or by second-party publishers. So honestly, the official setting support is looking stronger than ever. Also, the fact that Wizards is trusting and working with other publishers to bring more official settings and adventure books to the table is huge within itself. Rising tides. And as for the Universe Beyond negatively affecting your home games, as it has done with Magic, just know that Magic the Gathering is a competitive game and D&D is a collaborative game. They are 2 very different beasts. And if you have open communication at your D&D table, something I believe you need to collaborate effectively to play the game, honestly, you will never have any expectations issues as far as the DM expecting one thing and the players expecting another goes. And if you do cross wires, it's an easy fix. By talking about it, by collaborating, it's the game. And if you still have issues with players kicking up a fuss, throwing tantrums, arguing with you, throwing things because they really wanted to play SpongeBob, then I'm sorry, that's not D&D's fault. You can't put that on them. Your friend's an asshole. That's the issue. You can't blame Hasbro for the people you decide to hang out with. So yeah, I just wanted to do this video because I know people are talking about Gen Con announcements a lot, but there's been other pivots that D&D has been taking the past few months that have just got me really excited about the future and really happy to be in this community. And yes, I hope you appreciate my general excitement and optimism. It is just who I am, certainly who I want to be, and there are so many other creators you can go to if you don't like it. There's so many creators out there making specifically negative content that you can go watch. But I do hope you stick around. Maybe watch another one of my videos. And yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, and like this video.